Hey curl friends, welcome back to Cocaknotz. On this channel, we only want to know how to get to them inches, baby. Why? Because long hair is our destiny and big hair is our birthright. So let's get into another video. Right now, I got a client sitting here and she has 4C hair. She has medium hair density. She has about 14 to 16 inches of natural hair. She's experiencing a little bit of thinning in the crown area, and she also lost her edges due to excessive wig wearing for the last 4 years. Lace wigs, even though she hasn't been using adhesive, the friction from the lace has removed a lot of her edges. So she is switching over to a sew-in because I believe sew-ins can really grow your hair. I think it's much healthier for your hair instead of wigs and lace wigs. And lace wigs are good, but excessive lace wig wearing can be a little bit too much for our natural hair. She has colored her hair because she does have gray hair. So she colored her hair to this beautiful number 4. And I'm just getting her hair nice and moisturized. You guys know I do not work on dry hair. I mist it a little bit with my conditioned water, and then I used a hair thickener, my magic growth oil. If you got this oil, you know it's thick, baby, but it ain't as thick as this leave-in conditioner, honey. This leave-in conditioner is green like money, so you know it's gonna work. Okay, so I'm gonna slather this all over her hair because I like to work on soft hair, honey. Girl, I'm about that soft life, and I don't be doing no hard labor, honey, and I ain't gonna be doing it with no hard, rough hair. So I gotta make sure I soften people's hair before I work on it because I don't work with a comb. I said it. I don't be using a comb because when you use a comb, how you gonna be protecting if you using a comb and tearing out somebody's hair? That don't make no sense. I don't be tearing out people's hair over here. Over here, I grow hair, honey. Get it right. So, first of all, are you subscribed? Because I ain't gonna be talking to you if you ain't my real friend. Okay, so make sure you subscribe and you hit the notification bell because over here, is you my curl friend or is you not? Exactly. So make sure you subscribe because I only help people who my friends. And my friends, we all got long hair, period. We all got healthy long hair. We got thick hair. And that's all. So join the crew and become a part of the Long Hair Society. So let's get into it. As you can see, I just use a comb to part someone's hair, and then I use my fingers to detangle their hair. So no, you do not need a comb for a sew-in. I've been doing this method for years. I have been doing it on different hair types. I don't care if you got 4C, 3B, FG, elemental P. Your hair gonna be able to be used and braid without no comb. Okay, and it's easy. All I do is just make my partings. You can use a parting stick or you can use a rat tail comb, the tail of the comb, and go ahead and part the hair neatly, and then you go ahead and just braid it. You don't have to braid tight because when it comes to sewing, it's all about locking them threads, knotting those threads. So again, you can see I'm just using the tail of a comb to part it. And another reason why it's so much easier to part is because I only use natural products on people's natural hair. I may use a whole bunch of chemicals and all kind of BS on a weave now, but when it comes to that natural hair, oh baby, we gonna use some natural products. We gonna use some of that what the earth got to give. I'm gonna make sure your hair got nutrients, enzymes, minerals in your hair from natural oils and butters. These are homemade natural oils and butters that I make, and they will grow your hair very, very fast. That's why people come to me. All my clients, if you've been coming to me for at least a year, baby, I done got you some inches now. If you've been going to your hairstylist for at least 2 to 3 years and you ain't got at least 18 inches minimum, you need to find another stylist, okay? No shade. Your stylist might be the bomb. She might know how to lay it down, but average hair growth is 6 inches per year. So there is no reason why you should be paying someone year after year hundreds of dollars and you are not walking away with inches, baby. Your hair should be tickling your booty crack. And if it's not tickling your booty crack and you've been going to them paying a light bill and they rent for years, something wrong. Something ain't making no sense, honey. So as I braid, I make sure I tuck the hair into it and I keep it moving. And that way that allows me to have a flat sewing. My braiding pattern, I always keep around the same braiding pattern. I change it up a little bit depending on your hair density and the parting or style that you want. But I keep a basket weave. I do not braid straight back, because if you braid straight back, the back of the hair is going to rip out. Their nape is going to rip out. It's going to put too much tension on their edges. So incorporate some type of basket weaving. I don't do the whole take one braid and braid around and around and around and around and around. And I don't do that, because that will put a lot of tension on where you started. And over time, it's not going to work for a lot of people who have really big, long hair. Because if you've been coming to me for 3 years, by the time, if I start with you and you have 7, 8 inches of hair, after 3 years, honey, you're gonna have 24 inches of hair. So I have this basket weave is the only type of braiding pattern that will really work for thick, long hair. Okay. So as you can see, I'm taking my time, I'm parting through, and then I'm using my fingers to detangle. There is no reason why you should be bringing a comb through somebody's hair, especially someone who's experiencing any type of hair loss. If someone is experiencing any type of hair loss, you better not put no comb in their hair, because that's just wicked. Okay, because all you're gonna do is tweeze and pluck their hair out, and there's no need to. I done did the nappiest of the nappiest hair. I know some people don't like when I use that word nappy, but it is what it is. That hair is nappy, okay? And nappy ain't wrong if you got some long hair, okay? I don't care who call me nappy, but you better put long nappy hair in that sentence, because one thing about it, I got some long, nappy, beautiful, thick hair. So I'm going to go ahead and take that and bring it into that braid, and I'm just going to continue the braid. That way I am fitting each braid into it. It's not as much tension as continuing to go. It's less painful on the client, because when someone is getting service, you have to be gentle. You can't be stressing out that scalp like that. It's enough these people get stressed out from their job, they kids, they man. Like, listen, I ain't gonna stress you too, boo. I ain't gonna be stressing you and pulling your hair out either. So you gotta be real gentle when you're braiding. And that's why using the combless method works so well. So I'm gonna continue to braid her hair out, and then I'm going to be using a net, because she wants to keep this extensions in for a couple of months, at least 3 months. So now that I have braided her all down and sewed up her ends, it's time for me to base that scalp. I'm going to be using a healing scalp ointment. This is a natural sulfur from the earth. It is not a synthetic oil or butter that you can find from the store. I know there's a popular brand called Sulfur 8, 9, 10, something like that. Listen, you don't need to use any type of chemical, because when you turn that bottle around, it says warning, contact poison control. That should be a warning for you. So grab an all natural sulfur from the earth. You can get this from cocaknotz.com and base your scalp. It's going to promote hair growth. It's going to prevent hair loss. Is going to literally heal your scalp, so your pores and follicles on your scalp can start to stimulate more growth. Okay, so I put that all over the scalp and make sure she is nice and based it up, honey. Yes, it's flat, honey. I see you checking with your hand. It's flat, girl. Okay, look at her trying to check me. Honey, this thing flat, boo-boo. So I'm gonna go ahead and sew this net on. The reason why I like to use a net is for people who are experiencing any type of hair loss, because it allows me not to sew any hair extensions directly on their hair, because sometimes if they keep their hair extensions in for 3 months, 4 months, and they are washing their hair, it can move around, it can loosen up too much, it can become a little heavy, and you don't want all that weight on the braid itself. So for her first two braids in the front, I did use small amounts of hair extensions to do the first two braids. And then I use this net for an extra anchor. And this is just for extra security because she does plan on leaving this in for an extended period of time just to give her hair a break, baby. If you watch my last video, I told you guys when it comes to hair growth, you have to treat your hair like you have temporary dreadlocks. You have to not touch your hair. You have to let your hair heal itself and grow itself. And the only way you could do this is by leaving your hair the heck alone. Stop touching your hair. Your hair is tired of you. You is stressing your hair out. All this combing and brushing and manipulating. Your hair don't need all that. Let it do what it do. And that's why you need to just go ahead and book that sewing appointment and sew in your hair. Get a texture that you're not going to put too much heat on, and really just work with your hair and let it do its thing. Okay, I am dropping my Mongolian hair vendor very soon. Everyone is asking. They have the best hair extensions. Been using them for years. No shedding. It don't smell like corn chips. It lasts a long time. You can color it. You could do everything. Ain't no tangling. Let me tell you, I ain't got no time to be struggling with no weave. Okay, it's one thing. You got to struggle with 4C, the 4B hair, and then you got to struggle with weave too. Honey, we don't do that over here, honey. We use the best of the best hair. And anybody who comes get a sewings from me, listen, I'll be like, are you going to get the hair from me? Because that's the only way I can guarantee a bomb sewing. Okay, so I'm going ahead and stitching this in, and I call it stitch because you have to make sure you stitch and knot the threads, and you make sure they are close together, and that's going to guarantee the longevity of this style. You don't want when you comb in your hair that the comb getting stuck in the threads. No, honey, you got to go close. Okay, so I'm just going to give her a hard set, and that's just curling up her hair. And I'm going to put flexi rods because she going to bed, honey. She got to catch a flight and she got to look good. Okay, so you guys, this is the finished look, okay, because she's going to bed. So make sure you subscribe for more.